And the S25 Ultra will be the crown jewel.
The Ultra is going to be different with these slightly rounded corners now.
The biggest change in the Galaxy S25 Ultra.
That's one more thing taking away of its character. We got rid of the curved display. We got rid of the curved glass.
This is a massive change.
Everything about this design starts to scream practicality.
Yeah.
It's about damn time.
Oh.
Hello everyone, welcome to PhoneArena show. It is time once again to revisit a very interesting topic, which is, well, a big product which is almost here now. It's going to come out very soon. And it is the Galaxy S25 Ultra once again. We got to talk about it.
Yeah, Samsung is gonna start the year strong with the Galaxy S25 series, and the S25 Ultra will be the crown jewel, of course. And we have a fresh new leak about the Galaxy S25 Ultra, so maybe let's jump right into it. Well, somebody on Reddit apparently decided to troll Samsung, and
pretty much.
Yeah, basically they posted this video with the phone. It's a short hands-on video of the
just
Galaxy.
A couple seconds.
S25 Ultra, named S24 Ultra. Clearly, it's not the S24 Ultra.
Yeah.
So it's the S25 Ultra, and the new design has rounded corners. What do you think about it?
Just as we knew it's going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like a couple of seconds video. The person is just showing, like, even it's like the upper portion of the phone.
Right.
So it pretty much shows what we saw in all the renders, leaked photos, and so on up until this point, but in video, which is always good. I don't know about the design, about the redesign. So obviously all of these, by the looks of it, the S25, the Plus, and the S25 and the Plus will look pretty much the same way as the S24 line.
Right.
The Ultra is going to be different with these slightly rounded corners now. People have been complaining about this rectangular shape. I don't know about it. It's good. It's good. I don't like it in the leaked photos.
Okay.
I tend to like how it looks on the few leaked, like, official photos, official renders that we have, which are leaked as well, which look like legit Samsung promo materials. There, I think it looks good.
Okay, it's a subtle thing though. Like the curve, it's just different than the sharp corners we're used to. But it's a subtle curvature, and for me, the thing is that Samsung had this very distinct passport shape design, which everybody, you just see this, you know that's the Galaxy Ultra.
Yeah, it's distinct.
It's it's well known, and now it's kind of changing towards this generic smartphone.
Yeah, that's what's bothering me. It's losing its character.
Immediately you see the comments online, oh, just another iPhone, right? Because it looks like the iPhone, it looks like the Pixel looks like the iPhone, the Galaxy looks like the Pixel. Every phone these days tends to kind of morph into this singular shape and form, and that's a little bit bothersome, but at least it's not gonna hurt your palm when you're just hold it.
The Ultra was one of those last holdouts not to surrender to that rounded rectangle shape.
Yeah, but I think just discussing these little details shows just that kind of we're losing traction here a little bit in terms of innovation in the smartphone space. Yes, design, of course, sure is important, but that really seems to be like probably the biggest change in the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Clearly the one you can spot the easiest.
On the outside.
On the outside. But yeah, all the other changes don't seem all that exciting either. So it's we have to discuss the design. So this kind of tells me that, all right, there's not that many new features coming.
And we can probably fit everything new that's expected in the exterior, in the design, in like a couple sentences. So we still don't know if that's true or not, but maybe also the S25 and the Plus have a chance of being slightly narrower, slightly taller. There is a rumor that the S25 will have not a 6.2 but 6.3 inch display.
Right.
I'm not sure about the Plus, if its display is going to grow a little bit or not. So that's the only thing that's different there. And then the Ultra, which is also rumored to be what, slightly narrower, slightly taller,
Yeah.
and of course these slightly rounded edges,
Yeah, the big thing.
but also slightly slimmer as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The big thing for me is really this move towards slightly slimmer phones
Yeah.
and slightly lighter. Because the biggest issue for the Ultra for me is this just one big and heavy phone.
It is.
And even smaller changes here will be very welcome. And indeed, we're seeing that this new model is expected to weigh short of 220 grams, 219 grams. And the previous one, the S24 Ultra, weighs around 230. So this is like what, a few percentage points. It's not a huge change, but it might be
It's a
noticeable.
change in the right direction.
Definitely, it's
At
a,
least.
it's a change in the right direction. And Samsung has been using titanium for the Ultra already, so it's a lightweight material. Previously, Samsung used aluminum, which is also lightweight. So you're not gaining any like big. You don't have big changes in the weight like Apple had with the
Yeah.
switch from stainless steel, which is very heavy, to titanium.
It made a difference. Here, not so much.
Here, not so much, but yeah, it's probably like reducing the weight of some components inside. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that these things are not getting any more chubbier and heavier. So that's definitely in the right direction, in my opinion. Not sure about the Slim. There's still this rumor about a Slim model, a fourth model in the series. Last time I checked, the rumor is it might appear,
Right.
might make an appearance at the event in January, but it may be released later
Oh, that's interesting.
than the standard 3 models in the series. So not really sure what to make.
Oh, that's a spicy rumor. Basically, like the Slim model is, we've been hearing about various companies starting to make Slim phones. And first, of course, we heard about the iPhone Slim, which is supposedly coming in the fall of 2025, so next year. And now the Galaxy is also getting a Slim model, but previous rumors claimed it was gonna arrive late in the year. Possibly as a replacement of the FE model or something like that. Those models usually arrive later on.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing different rumors about an earlier release. That would be very interesting. I still have doubts about that though. I think like Samsung will want to kind of play it safe with the launch of the S25, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, and these phones, I don't know what to make of it, because these phones, it's not like they're thick.
And they are getting slimmer. We already
They
mentioned
are
that.
getting possibly just a little bit slimmer. So decent thickness. I'm not sure exactly how the Slim model is gonna fit this whole, how much of a difference it's gonna make.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's so different. On the other hand, so many years later, if you hold a phone like the iPhone 6,
Yeah.
which was like record thinness in smartphone design, it does make a difference. It feels very differently.
Yeah, I think there were actually some slimmer phones back then. Maybe some niche devices.
Yeah, probably.
So it wasn't the slimmest, but it was
but compared to
the current models, it's
Yeah.
definitely a big difference. Yeah, and I remember using the OnePlus 5 back in the day, and I still have it at my home. And the moment you pick it up, you're just instantly impressed at how slim that device is and how lightweight it is.
Yeah.
It's a big difference because I started using it a couple of months ago and I carried it around. And some people just saw it, they took it for a spin, and everyone was like, wow, this device is so thin. And we kind of forgot in the past few years how thin phones actually were. So yeah, I think it will be, there will be some interesting reactions towards these slim phones, and people are probably gonna rediscover what it's like living with a slim phone. And it's gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be interesting if these like slim editions are gonna, have also commercial success.
Yeah.
Because obviously both Samsung and Apple are looking for this next thing they can do to shake up their lines. Apple obviously still wondering what to do with this Plus model.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And for me, they would. Like, I would be really interested in a slim phone. Like, if you ask me, like my personal opinion, yes, let's do it. Yeah, let's try it out. And basically, we also talked on previous episodes, and you can check them out, about this new technology that allows for this thing to happen.
Yeah.
It's called like silicon carbon batteries, a new material that allows you to have a slimmer battery inside and still have a pretty much the same capacity, which is great news because usually with slimmer phones, like battery life is not so good. And this is the solution, so we're gonna see.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about what else we saw on that video.
Right.
So camera layout.
Right.
As far as I can tell, it's going to be the same thing as the S24 Ultra. So same number, same layout
Yeah.
of camera lens on the back side. The gray color, I think, makes a return. Actually, I think we have like a one of the rumors is, or the leaked images is showing all the different colors that S25 Ultra is going to come in.
Right.
Which, you know, the same gray is coming back, and then we have some new ones like it's like a navy blue type of thing. Not sure about it, but yeah, some fresh colors there. But otherwise, on that video, I don't know what else. I mean, we see the flat sides. So
Yeah.
because these guys already have the flat sides, the S24 and the Plus, they got the flat side. The Ultra stayed with that slightly rounded frame.
Yeah.
Now, and that's one more thing, taking away of its character.
Yeah.
Getting
I
that.
like the flat sides actually. I don't mind the flat sides. It's a small difference, as you can tell here on the S24 Ultra. Samsung has been kind of reducing this curvature every year.
Yeah.
Flattening it further and further, and this year is going to be totally flat, the S25 Ultra, or rather next year. But yeah, I don't mind this change. Like in the beginning, when all phones used to have this very noticeable curvature, I was so used to this feeling, comfortable feeling in the palm. But now I actually prefer these flatter designs. They're easier to pick up from the table, and they make sense. They're especially good for how durable the phone is. So basically, with the Pixel 9, we saw that Google says with the switch to that new flat sides, just because of that change in design, the phone is up to twice as durable. And this is a massive change. So I think that's a good thing, like in purely practical perspective.
That's the thing, though. Everything about this design starts to scream practicality.
Yeah.
Practicality. So yeah, the curved displays were not really, convenient.
Yeah.
Not super practical. But if you go back like a few years ago, we got these way more elegant and I would say sophisticated and complex designs,
Right.
including from Samsung, where the aluminum frame around the phone is smooth, is rounded. It gets thinner along the side rails, then slightly thicker on the bottom and the top. The glass panes on the back and the front were like slightly curved,
Right.
regardless if the OLED panel itself was curved or not. So there were these lines everywhere around the phone, and it made for so much more of an elegant product.
Right. Yeah.
And some of those things were not really practical or convenient, but now we got rid of the curved display. We got rid of the curved glass. We got rid of the curved metal around the phone. And with all of this simplification of the design,
Right.
and guys, check out the leaked renders of the S25 Ultra. I don't know if we're not getting into a zone where it's just too bland,
Right.
too practical, too simple.
That's a pretty good point. And one thing, like I've noticed also, is that okay, you have this very minimalist, let's call it design,
Yeah.
very simplistic design, which is very practical, utilitarian. But other companies are able to kind of differentiate their products with their colors. So I just, today is Monday, we're recording this podcast, and Huawei just launched their new Mate 70 series. And just looking at the colors of that family of phones, and you're very impressed. Like there are some gradients, some interesting patterns. That's a flagship product. You also have your classical color options. You have like your black, your classics. But then you also have a few color options that just are a bit more fancy, a bit more playful. And we just don't have this with the Google phones, with the latest Pixels, the iPhones, the Galaxies. They all kind of like, all right, they've embraced this new flat design, but why not have some fun with the colors at least?
At least.
So I would really love to see at least that happening there in the future.
Well, by the looks of it, you're not, because the S25 Ultra, at least judging by this, the leaked renders we have, the colors kind of remind me of the iPhone Pro lineup.
Yeah, they're the boring kind.
The boring kind, just, a few different shades of gray is what it is. But they look good. They look very like professional, mature colors. Very,
There's nothing crazy there.
No, nothing crazy. None of that aura glow type of thing with the Note 10. So none of that. So yeah, very mature colors, but almost no fun to be had in that.
Right.
So yeah. So let's see. Of course, we know the Snapdragon 8 Elite is coming to power all three phones. Thank God, in the US at least. Abroad, S25 and 25 Plus probably gonna have some sort of an Exynos scheme.
Yeah.
At least let's hope that the setup is gonna remain the same, and the Ultra abroad is gonna have the Snapdragon as well.
Yeah.
Android 15, probably 12 gigs or more of RAM. Now the batteries, I think, are rumored to remain the same.
Yeah, as far as I can see, no change in battery size, which is disappointing, especially for the Ultra. So we're speaking about slim phones, so these things kind of contradict each other. Like you want a slim phone, you want a big battery, and yes, we kind of want both things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't seem to get this. And 5,000 milliamp hours is the size of the S24 Ultra battery, same size on the S25 Ultra. By modern standards, this is not a big battery. This is just like standard, right? This is the average size. Especially for such a big phone with a nearly 6.9-inch display. So the screen on the S25 Ultra is going to grow a little bit bigger. 6.9 inches, 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I would say that's actually a small battery for the size. And this brings me to the S Pen right here. So the S Pen takes up a lot of space. It's still going to be on the S25 Ultra, obviously. It's going to be like one of the main selling features. But come on, how many people are actually using the S Pen like every day? I think this remains like a very niche feature that Samsung should reconsider. And this is my point for a few years. Like, just kill the S Pen. Give us a version of the Ultra without the S Pen with a bigger.
No, don't kill the S Pen.
Or have it in a separate version. Have the Note series back, and keep this phone with give us this phone with a bigger battery, no S Pen. Everybody will be happy. You have two options to choose from. Why not? But yeah, the battery sizes are unfortunately not rumored to change.
Yeah, no, but by the looks of it, no silicon carbon action here for these phones. The charging speeds are going to also remain the same, is what the rumor is. So that would be around 45 watts on the Ultra.
And the Plus.
Wired, and the Plus, and 15 watts wireless.
Wireless, yeah.
Yeah. And so for the S25, the little one is 25 watts wired.
Yeah.
So not gonna change, sadly. So and that brings us to. So where's the innovation at? Where's the new thing? It's gonna be on the inside.
Okay.
Pretty much. So Samsung hard at work, we know, at One UI 7,
Oh,
the new software. AI still rumored to like take center stage at the event, which is gonna be in the second half of January, by most accounts.
okay.
So AI is gonna be a big topic again. I get it, makes sense. Samsung is already like acting like a bit of a leader in that space, and fair enough, they were. So I don't know if we have any rumors on what new features they're going to be
I don't think
for
so.
AI. But yes, Samsung still has quite the lineup of AI-assisted features, and so there for sure is going to be new things in January. One UI 7, though, is going to be interesting because, and I think I mentioned that last time, it's about damn time
Oh,
for
what's happening?
Samsung
What's changing?
to rework this software a little bit. I mean, One UI was pretty, ahead of the curve a few years back. Nowadays, I don't know, it's just a little bit stale. Customization options,
Right.
not really there.
Okay.
You need to install some weird separate apps to change things up. Don't work in some markets. It's weird things. You cannot change the icons, for example, just like that.
Yeah, you have to install the Good Luck app, which is like a
Yeah.
power user app. Not everybody can deal with this. It's
It's a bit more
compli-
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated for stuff which is not. This is Samsung. People respect Samsung phones for their customizability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they should bring this back. I don't know what else, but One UI is going to have reworked animations.
Oh,
Something. Also because think about it, like I think like OnePlus, for example, and not just them, but also Honor doing pretty great job with their UIs.
right.
Xiaomi doing pretty good job with their UIs. They start moving and behaving, more fluid, more iOS-like, which is, objectively speaking, a good thing.
Yeah.
And Samsung was lagging a little bit, but we now know there was this recent leak of a short video with someone playing with One UI 7 beta. It seems to be working quite nicely now.
Yeah, this is my big problem with Samsung phones for years. I've been talking about this. Is specifically is around the gesture navigation, which is very choppy. And in some apps, like for example on Google Discover, when you scroll around on YouTube, basically on most Google apps, but also in the interface, when you're using the gesture navigation, there is a bit of a stutter, and it's hard to explain because no other Google phone, like Android phone, seems to have this. It's specifically a Samsung thing. And which is extremely annoying because Samsung is like the leading manufacturer of Android phones.
They should have the best.
They should have figured this out long ago. Finally, One UI 7, you can see the leaked video. It's perfectly smooth.
This year, everything changes, and we've been saying that each and every year.
Yeah, but this year,
but this time it's different.
Yeah, we hope the beta looks very encouraging. I'm really, I actually just told Rad before we started this podcast, I'm switching to a Galaxy phone right away. The moment they roll this out.
For a month, he said for a month.
For a month, yeah. Just gonna try it out, but a month is a good time period. So yeah, I'm very excited about this.
So we were hoping that One UI beta is gonna come out like this week. They're delaying it a little bit for next month. Sometime, which can be both a good and a bad thing, but
right.
Hope it's for the better. So they're working on how it feels, the fluidity, the gestures, all that stuff. It has even more like iOS vibes. For example, what we see at least in this video is the notification shade with all the shortcut toggles. They're now grouped like in bubbles, like in iOS, which to me it looks good. It looks like mature. It looks like okay, this software is now up there with the best.
There is a bit of a copying here. Like the notification drop down looks like the control center more and more.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, that is how One UI is shaping up. And unfortunately, we don't have too much else to work with.
Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna play with the beta as soon as it comes out. So stay tuned for all the new features explained on our main channel, PhoneArena. But one other thing that Samsung is expected to improve with this beta is Bixby, and
Bixby? Who's that? Who's Bixby?
some may have forgotten what Bixby is.
Hi, I'm Bixby.
Bixby is your Samsung-made virtual assistant. That is unfortunately not as good as Google Gemini, but it's gonna get some AI features. A big upgrade is coming to Bixby with One UI 7. So this will be exciting to see, but like I honestly really wish that Samsung gave us back this ability to fully customize what voice assistant you're using. For me, the preferred way to use a voice assistant is just by long pressing the power button. That's how you do it on every other Android phone. On Samsung, if you long press the power button, you can only start Bixby. You cannot start, you cannot configure it to anything else. So it's just Bixby or nothing. And this is frustrating because just Bixby is not good enough. I wish this changes, but it doesn't seem like it will because Samsung is just doubling down on Bixby. But yeah, at least you will be able to use Bixby to control your settings. You can now do this, but with AI, it should be more powerful. You should be able to better search your phone. So that's one maybe exciting thing. But on the other hand, like I really wish we just got Gemini instead of Bixby.
Yeah, wait, but you can you have Gemini on here?
You do have Gemini, yeah, of course. You have Gemini, you just have to use the swipe gesture from the bottom, which is not so complicated. Just for me, it's just much easier to use the power button, and it's kind of like a big deal for me. For many people, I guess it won't be, but yeah.
So maybe they should like push an update to make it customizable, right? Maybe that's how it's going to work on One UI 7.
Hopefully, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Oh well. Bixby and Siri.
But there's this thing, like, for example, like Google is very adamant about keeping that Google search bar. You cannot remove it on Pixel phones. It has to always stay on your home screen.
Annoying.
Very annoying stuff. Samsung has its own thing. It has its Bixby always mapped to the power button, and you cannot remove it. And every company seems to have like a little bit of its own quirks here and there. We can live with it. They're just a bit annoying.
Absolutely, and to an extent, that's why we love them. That's what makes them special. Alrighty, so that was the Galaxy S25 Ultra.
Right.
Again, a slide, revamps on the outside. The big stuff is going to happen on the inside, hopefully.
Yeah.
We still don't know. And that's, by the way, that's an interesting thing because leaks are everywhere in this industry. We know how the most flagship models are going to look like months and months before they are even announced. But one thing these companies can hide better is those software features, the innovations on the inside. And those are more difficult to leak. So at least that's like the silver lining here. We're going to be surprised.
Yeah, we want a few surprises here and there to keep us excited. I think that's a good thing, yeah.
As far as I know, the Unpacked event for Samsung where the S25s are going to be announced is currently expected to happen on January 22nd.
All right.
So in a couple of months.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned to PhoneArena. We have that gigantic hub page. We call it a hub page with the S25 and S25 Plus. So we decided to take the S25 Ultra on its own separate hub page because it's so, special and big by itself. So we have two hub pages. Check them out. You can easily, by the way, if you go to PhoneArena.com, because it's not so easy to access those pages, but that's a whole different thing. But you can go to PhoneArena and the main navigation there, it says more. So in that more menu, you hover on there, and there you have or how is it called on mobile? Is it the burger menu?
Burger menu.
The burger menu.
Or you can, alternatively, we can make it easy for you, include links to these videos.
You can also do that.
Yeah. You're also gonna go to the webpage and gonna see a lot of
smart we are.
detail. Gonna see the latest news. Those pages are constantly being updated, so they're up to date.
Constantly being updated, all the latest leaks and rumors about Samsung upcoming flagships. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for being with us.